What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cardano today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 19th day of September, and here we are sitting at about 90 cents right now. We got 7 hours, 51 minutes left in this day. Before we get into the standard stuff and talking about the long-term perspectives, prospects, which I think are very interesting, I want to talk about the ribbons here and some other things. Okay, the daily ribbon here, first off, looks very bullish. You're kind of contracted at the moment, looking to expand. When you expand, you get these movements up higher. It's nice to see, or to the downside, lower. Looks like you want to expand higher, finding support right at the top of the ribbon. Beautiful, exactly what you want to see. 3-day time frame, finding support at the top of the ribbon. You just crossed bullish. Beautiful. Bam. Exactly what you want to see. Weekly ribbon. Beautiful. Bam. Contracted hard. Now you're finding support at the top of the ribbon. Expanding. Beautiful. Exactly what you want to see. And the monthly ribbon is still very contracted. Found support here. You're looking like you want to go up. You had the near cross experience there, and you didn't cross. You came back up, found support. You're ready to move higher. All these momentum-based implications telling us that we have one place to go, one place only, and that is higher. We're going to go higher, and I think the monthly signals that we're going to see new all-time highs, you guys, dramatically higher all-time highs. Cardano actually is a part of the very first ever multi-crypto asset ETF, ETP, in the United States here, the GDLC Grayscale Fund, which has Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and Cardano in the midst. You can literally invest in Cardano through means of a traditional finance mechanism, and also at the same time have exposure to what is the United States Crypto Strategic Crypto Reserve, which incorporates Cardano. I think that's a pretty big deal, you guys. That right there, in my opinion, if the SEC approves something like that, that paves the way forward for Cardano to have an ETF approved as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had one by the end of the cycle, maybe even by the end of this year, we have an ETF approved for all of these assets all at once, man. It makes a lot of sense that if we have a basket full of them, why wouldn't we have them at an individual level as well? So very, very bullish prospects there. I want to touch on one more thing before we actually move on. It's a very similar thought to what I had with XRP, is that with these institutional, traditional on-ramps allowing for significant sums of money to inflow into these crypto ecosystems, one would think that going into the next bear cycle, not only will Bitcoin see a very tame cycle, but coins of the like Cardano, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, their bear markets are probably going to be even more tame than we've ever seen before. So as dramatic as this might have been for anybody investing in Cardano, from September 1st, 2021 to the bear market low, you dropped 92%. I would anticipate that the coming bear market will be significantly more tame. It might be robust. It might move down with a purpose for the first 6 months or first 3 months, however long it lasts. I don't think it'll last a year, but maybe. You never know. Maybe we'll have a boring time afterwards, but I think the correction will be fast and swift. But I don't think we'll see a 90% correction. I don't even know if we'll see an 80% correction with this coming bear market. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. Very bullish overall, which is pretty fantastic when we consider that seeing new all-time highs, getting less than an 80% correction would then, if we went up to $10, that was the cycle peak. By the end of the cycle, an 80% correction or less would imply then that we're at dramatically higher prices than we are even now. The bear market low for the next cycle will be at significantly higher prices. I mean, we're at 90 cents. How many of you would be excited if we were at $2 right now, right? That would be the bear market low. That's going to be the depression era, is that level there, or higher probably. But anyways, just some thoughts to think about going forward here. Looking at this on a weekly time frame, man, I really think that it's important to look at this on the overall scope of things, because Cardano has come such a long way, right? This chart is clearly very bullish. Higher highs cycle after cycle, massive accumulation phase here, right? You can see this nice kind of rounded bottom here, this double bottom look right there in this little block of accumulation. And then boom, just the move that happened afterwards was fantastic, absolutely spectacular. You had a very similar result here, but with a longer accumulative zone, right? You could draw it like a block if you want to. I think this accumulative zone is still going on. I think we're doing it right now. I think we're just tilted upwards. I think there's more accumulation going on this cycle than there was last cycle, right? It's taking longer. It is slanted upwards, but there's probably more institutional buying pressure going on right now. People on the inside knowing what's to come. And I very much would expect that once we break above this, I do not believe that Cardano is going to be range bound this whole time. I think a lot of people are going to expect that we find resistance here on the next touch point, just because we have throughout this whole cycle. I would expect we break out. I think what's coming next is we break out of this overall upward sloping channel. We back tested for support, and then by the end of the cycle, we're ripping and running up to like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, $10, something in that range. From an all-time high to the bear market low that we just established this past cycle here. I'm going to take it to the low. Come on now. The high to low. The minimum target I would have in mind is about $15. And with the golden ratio, sometimes you can wick a little bit above that. So maybe $15 to $20 is a good kind of psychological area to find resistance. Perhaps we do go all the way to $30. Cardano has a very high market cap at the moment, ADA, $32 billion. So let's just see what kind of market cap that would have if we were to go up to these levels here. I know I've got the chicken scratch. We'll delete it in a second, but I want to keep it on there for now. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right there. You know, that would be a 15x. Let's just see. What would $30 be? That'd be a 34x almost. Let's just do 34. 34 times 32. Oh, okay. 300. So that's over $1 trillion market cap. I could see Cardano hitting $1 trillion or more by the end of this cycle. I wouldn't predict on it. I wouldn't bank on it, but I could see it happening strictly because you are part of the United States Strategic Crypto Reserve, and you're in that first basket of ETPs that has like a basket of cryptos. So that's kind of historical in itself. You are the number 10 crypto. You've been relevant, right? Charles Hoskinson is a very prominent figure in the space, and Cardano is a very prominent crypto network in the space as well. So I could see it happening, but that's really pushing the limits of what you could offer. I personally don't believe Cardano hits a $30 price. I accept it as a possibility. I would not bet against it, but I would not bet on it. $30 would be the maximum of what I could see. I really, really, really do believe that $15 to $20 is a suitable area for the end of this cycle. If not there, then maybe $10 at a bare minimum. But even that, even that puts us at like a $400 billion market cap, which is pretty high valuations, right? That would be an 11x. That'd be more like a $340 billion valuation, so not quite $400 billion, but that's still a lot of cheddar. I personally believe we'll see a $15 to $20 valuation, under $1 trillion, yet worth over $500 billion in market cap valuation by the end of the cycle. And I think that'll really start to become apparent as we start to phase into the end of this year and getting into the end of the cycle. I really think things are going to pick up more. The biggest move that Cardano has experienced all cycle is shaping up right now. I really do see it happening. I think that this move was nice back in last November, December. I think a lot of people are assuming that this was kind of a one-off, but I think that we're going to see a move that is very similar to that. That'll take us probably directly right above our all-time highs here. People are going to start to tell you, all right, that's the end of the cycle. Cardano went just above its all-time highs last time, and that was the end of the cycle. Here it is here. We're probably going to stop. We're not going to go above $5, but we'll consolidate going into the early parts of 2026, and then boom, cycle ending finale, March, April, May, somewhere in that kind of time frame, $15 to $18, $15 to $20. I really think that's where we're going to be, because that overall would give us a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged count to the upside, breaking out of this initial kind of consolidation area here. I really do expect that we're going to break out of this channel to the upside on the coming move, on this next move that's going to happen here, probably going into the end of this month and going into the end of this year as well. We look at the weekly RSI. The RSI is in an uptrend as well, looking like it wants to get into the overbought zone. We've gotten deep into the overbought zone every single time, not getting oversold once, which is beautiful this whole cycle. Stochastics look very bullish, and the MACD is scooping the zero, looking like it wants to pursue higher levels as well. So all good things. You're in a more bullish posturing now than you have been this whole cycle. I mean it when I tell you the move that's coming is going to be bigger than anything we've seen since the last bull market. Okay, so pack your bags, load them up. We've got a lot of growth to go in a very short amount of time to get there. As far as where's Cardano going to go in the short term, we're rejecting the overbought zone. We're kind of consolidating here. I'm not expecting anything too crazy. I don't think that we get below this low of 85.8 or 85.5 cents, but if we do, that's fine. I would like to see Cardano maintain levels above the 80 level. Okay, don't get below 80 cents, but you can get below this low. That's fine. I don't think we get below these lows. I think we're going to continue to form higher lows. If anything, I think we move up here pretty soon, but time will tell. I mean, the RSI is bullish enough. It's kind of in a neutral posturing. The stochastics look like they want to cross up right now. Let's see how the day ends. Let's see how the week ends. But I think right here, really, you do look like you want to move up. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if by the end of the day, and then even over the weekend, we might be continuing to move higher. I would expect that we don't move too much over the weekend. Going into Monday next week, we might even pull back, but then going into the end of this month, we should be rallying. So I gave you a lot to digest there. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to end the video, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe, Thank you all for being here. You've got a lot of growth to go in a very short amount of time. Maybe I'll do this one last thing, okay? High to low here. Took you all the way up to your 1618, just above there. Okay, cool. High to low here. This one took you, instead of your 1618, you went, come on now, just above your 1414. Okay, cool. So 1618, 1414, we know that we like those standard areas. Cool. Here, I would expect then at the same kind of consequence or same kind of area, you would see something that's above $2 or higher, 240. You might even go to an even stronger reading than this, and I would expect that you're there probably by the end of October, okay? By the end of the year, you'll be at dramatically higher prices. I think by the end of the year, you'll be at new all-time highs, so something in this area or higher by the end of the year. But again, with that kind of idea in mind for your next stopping point, we take this trend into question, and you can see that that golden ratio does take you right above the trend. I really do think that we get above the golden ratio, even up to this 1,886,200 by the end of October. That's my expectation. So that'd be $3 to $3.44. Anyways, that's all I got. Toodles. Hit the like button. Bye-bye.